Hello, I'm Kerry McCarty, and we're here at Christ Church to do an Advent wreath for you to be able to use in your home during the Advent season. So I've got all my materials gathered, and I'm going to walk you through the process. So the materials that you will have in your kit will be a saucer, 4 candles, the Oasis. Some people may have this in their possession already, and if you do, I'll show you how to utilize that best. But one of the most important things about making this project a success is to soak the Oasis. The proper way to soak the Oasis is to fill up a sink with water and then place the Oasis on top of the water and just let it sink on its own. You cannot push the Oasis down into the water to make this happen any faster. And it doesn't really take hardly a minute. You can see this one's beginning to completely saturate. So when your Oasis is saturated, it's going to be completely dark green. And that's all there is to soaking the Oasis. Okay, with your Oasis soaked and your saucer, take the Oasis and turn it so that the side that has the multitude of little holes is facing you. Take your saucer and press it into the Oasis. The Oasis is very soft. Now, this is messy and there's going to be water running around, but that's why you have a towel handy. And then take the corners of the Oasis that are over the rim of the saucer and trim those off and slightly back. That will keep the Oasis from wicking water out of the container. So after you've got your Oasis trimmed, if you're using one of the 10 candle rings, just gently press that into the top of the Oasis and press it down enough so that these candle cups are actually touching the top of the Oasis. If you're not using that, you want to figure out something to space with, like a thumb, and come in and put your 4 candles into the Oasis. And you want to keep them equidistant and not too close together on the inside, because when you have all 4 of the candles lit at the end of Oasis, at the end of Advent, they make a lot of heat. And it's very easy just to press the candles down into the Oasis and get them squared up. So you end up with something that's looking like this. And from this point, you're going to use your greenery to create a round wreath form. What I have here, I've collected all this stuff out of my own yard, and there's way more materials here than you'll need. And I also have, from the materials you're seeing here, created another whole wreath. So what I've got is some pachysandra, boxwood, and yew. And you don't need big pieces. Something that's little and clumpy is the ideal thing to have. And I would say that if you could take a plastic Kroger bag and get enough greenery to fill that generously, you'll have enough materials to do your Oasis and make the wreath. Now, when you start putting your materials in, one of the things that you want to do is have them angled slightly upwards. That way, the wreath form sits nice and flat on the table. And what you'll probably want to do is find some sort of tray or something to put under this actual wreath form, because ideally you'll add water to this as the Advent season progresses to keep it nice and fresh. One of the things that happens frequently is people try to make them too tall. And you've got to remember that these candles will burn down. So probably a couple of inches high in the middle is as much as you need to create the nice form. Anything taller than that has a tendency to be a fire hazard, and we don't need any more drama in our lives than we're having right now. So as you're creating your design, if you just work your way around in a circle, using all your greenery at basically the same length as you go around the circle, your design will come out circular, no problems. And this is, for people who may not know, I am a florist, and I've been doing this for 53 years now. So I have a tendency to not use anything like scissors or stuff like that. I just break everything, which is something that most people can't do. So you'll want to have some kind of nice pruners or kitchen scissors to cut your greenery with so that it's easier for you. And if you only have access to one type of greenery, that's fine. But if you can have several different types of greenery, and again, small things in little clumps are what you want ideally, it just makes the overall design more interesting. So far, I've used the boxwood, which is this, the pachysandra, this, and now I'm going to put some yew in. And again, if you can find things that are short and compact, that's your ideal foliage to be able to use. When you get close to having your wreath finished, kind of take a minute, step back, look at it, and then you might see areas where it's not quite as round as you would like for it to be, and you can take those last few minutes to sort of bring the shape to as close to circular as you're able. Doesn't want to look perfect. So, finished design. And if you have things in your own garden like rosemary or any herbs. Those are nice things to be able to add to your design. You can also add berries. You can add little pine cones. But the most important thing to remember as you're doing this is to not get it too high, because it is a danger as your candles burn down, so no fires. So here we have our completed design for an Advent wreath for you to use in your home during this season. I hope that this has been helpful and that you and your family will enjoy putting this together as a family project, and that you'll use it throughout the Advent seasons, remembering our Christ Church family and with wishes from everyone at Christ Church to you for a blessed Advent season. Thank you.